covert CIA operative, known only as the protagonist, is deployed on a mission at the Kyiv Opera House. What appears to be a hostage rescue is, in truth, a cover for eliminating a compromised agent. Amid the chaos, the protagonist encounters something extraordinary: a masked soldier who saves his life by catching, or rather, unfiring, a bullet. Soon after, he is captured, tortured, and forced to take cyanide. Instead of dying, he awakens to find the pill was a loyalty test. His team is dead, the mission failed, and the artifact he seized is gone. Offered a second chance, the protagonist is recruited into a shadowy organization called Tenet. His superior Faye introduces him to Barbara, a scientist who demonstrates inverted bullets, projectiles that move backward through time due to reversed entropy. She warns him that these strange objects are only fragments of a far larger conflict between the present and the future. Following the trail of inverted ammunition, the protagonist partners with Neil and investigates Mumbai arms dealer Priya Singh. Priya, revealed to be part of Tenet herself, explains that the weapons were supplied to Russian oligarch Andrei Sator, who somehow obtains them already inverted. Sator, once raised in the secret Soviet city of Stalsk-12, is believed to be a go-between for the present and the future. Through British intelligence officer Sir Michael Crosby, the protagonist learns that Sator controls his estranged wife Kat by blackmailing her with a forged Goya painting she unknowingly authenticated. To gain her trust, the protagonist and Neil orchestrate a daring raid on an Oslo airport freeport, using a plane crash as cover. There they come face to face with mysterious masked fighters emerging from a machine known as a turnstile, which allows people and objects to invert their entropy and move backward through time. Earning Sator's cautious trust, the protagonist joins him on missions while secretly observing his methods. Sator receives future coordinates and dispatches his operatives to recover mysterious artifacts. During a high-speed ambush in Tallinn, the protagonist steals what he believes is plutonium, only to discover it is another piece of the same artifact lost in Kyiv. But Sator, using both his forward-moving and inverted selves, outmaneuvers him and injures Kat with an inverted bullet. Rescued by Tenet operatives led by Ives, the protagonist inverts himself to save her life, only to lose the artifact to Sator. Piecing the puzzle together, Priya reveals that Sator is assembling parts of a weapon called the algorithm, created in the future by a scientist who feared humanity's destruction. If completed, it could invert the entropy of the entire planet, erasing the past. The 9 pieces were hidden in different places and times, and Sator has dedicated his life to reuniting them, aided by future forces who see destroying the past as survival. Kat discloses that Sator is terminally ill and tied the algorithm to his heartbeat via a dead man's switch. His plan is to end his life during a trip to Vietnam, his happiest memory, ensuring the world ends with him. To stop this, Tenet launches a complex operation at Stalsk-12, fighting both forward and backward in time in a temporal pincer movement. Deep in the battlefield, the protagonist realizes the masked soldier with the red trinket, who had saved him before, is Neil, his future friend and recruit. Neil sacrifices himself to ensure the mission succeeds. At the same time in Vietnam, Kat kills Sator before he can trigger the algorithm, severing his control. With the device secured, the protagonist recognizes his own role not as a pawn, but as the architect of Tenet itself, a man fighting a war across time that he has yet to begin. Christopher Nolan anchors the story in real scientific terminology: entropy, the second law of thermodynamics, Maxwell's demon, Wheeler and Feynman's time theories, but has emphasized that Tenet is not a work of scientific literalism. Instead, it's a high-concept espionage thriller where physics bends to the needs of story, mystery, and spectacle.